Fala galerinha do YouTube, muito boa tarde, aqui quem fala é Renato, jogando com mais um vídeo de Dragon Age Play 4 e vamos seguir a missão agora que temos. Quer falar com a Josefine.
Do you know where this noble wanted to meet us?
I do. The Comte Boisvert invited us to his mansion, not far from here. I pray he clears up the deaths of my messengers, as promised.
Lead the way.
Vamos lá falar com ele agora. Vamos ver o que a gente pode fazer para ajudar a nossa Josefine. De repente ela fica feliz com a situação e dá uma moral pra gente, que a gente só tá tomando tuco.
Welcome, my friend.
Thank you for seeing us, Comte Boisvert.
The honor is mine. Please, sit. It's an honor to assist two such distinguished guests.
We appreciate your help, Comte.
The death of Lady Montily's servants must weigh heavily. Have you heard of the House of Repose?
The Assassin's League?
My contacts obtained a copy of a document in the archives. Contract for life.
The House of Repose is hereby sworn to eliminate anyone attempting to overturn the Montilier's trading exile in Orlais.
Who's sending these assassins?
The contract was signed by a noble family. The Du Paraquets.
But the Du Paraquets died out as a noble line over 60 years ago.
Indeed. But the contract was signed 109 years ago.
How can a family try to kill you after they died out?
The Du Paraquets were our rivals. They drove the Montiliers from Val Royal. This contract was drawn up over 100 years ago, but it wasn't invoked until I tried to overturn my family's exile.
Unpleasant though it may be, the House of Repose is merely fulfilling its contractual duties.
I assume you have a thought or two on this, Josephine?
The Du Paraquets still have descendants under the common branch. If we elevate them to nobility, a Du Paraquet could annul the contract on my life.
That will take time, Lady Montilyet. Time during which the House of Repose will be obliged to hunt you.
Will they now? You are exceedingly well informed. You're not to have said you'd heard rumors, at best.
A bit of subterfuge. This contract on your life is an ugly business. One the House of Repose deeply regrets. But this is Orlais. Even an assassin's word is his bond.
I'm guessing the actual Comte Boisvert met with a fatal accident.
Comte Boisvert slumbers in a nearby closet. Nothing more. The contract on Lady Montilier's life is so unusual, we felt the courtesy of an explanation was in order.
It is appreciated, monsieur.
Your idea to seek out the Du Paraquet to revoke our orders is an interesting one. I wish you luck. I did not come to shed blood today, Inquisitor. Only to speak. Might I pass?
Você pode ir, deixa o conde, beleza. Vocês estão mortos. Atacar o assassino.
Why warn us about your contract and let us go?
In Orlais, it is only decent to inform those involved in a contract when extraordinary circumstances conspire.
And the guild's reputation would suffer if you ignored the contract. I quite understand.
Thank you, lady. May we conclude with my departure?
E agora? Mato ele, deixo. Deixe que o conde vai ileso. Atacar o assassino. Vamos finalizar com uma partida.
Go, then.
Good day, your worship. My lady, I pray we never meet again.
Ah, mas eu vou dar o jeitinho dele depois. Agora que eu sou assassino.
Well, I didn't think our meeting would end like this.
We'll deal with these assassins.
I have some thoughts. Let's discuss them back at Skyhold. I'll feel safer with the castle's walls around me.
Do you hear something?
Oh, goodness. Comte Poivert, is that you? Oh, the lock's been broken off. We'll find a saw. I realize the cabinet is quite valuable, Comte, but surely... A locksmith, then? As you wish.
Beleza, vamos lá. Volte para a Fortaleza do Céu e farei com Josefina. Bem, aqui já acabamos. Vamos voltar lá para nossa fortaleza. Aqui que a gente estava. Caminho do Oeste. Encontre o tomo de círculo nos caminhos do Oeste. Depois tem que ver isso aqui. Vamos voltar aqui para a fortaleza. Aqui a gente conversa com ela. Beleza, vamos lá falar com ela. Vamos ver o que ela, qual o plano dela. Ela deve mandar uma missão pra eu caçar ele. Se eu caçar, meu filho, eu vou acabar com ele rápido.
Inquisitor?
I'm so sorry, Inquisitor. I never thought my family's trading status would trap us in an assassin's plot.
You couldn't have known it would lead to this House of Repose coming after you.
It still shouldn't have slipped past me. I've tracked down the last two parakeets. If they become gentry, they can annul the contract on my life. We'll require a noble from Val Royaux to sponsor them, a judge to provide documents, a minister to ratify them.
It's so like you to take the longest course of action, even when your life is at stake.
I assume you already know everything about this mess.
There is a faster way, Josephine. The original contract on your life is in the vaults of the House of Repose. If my agents infiltrate it and destroy the original, the assassin will have no obligation to chase you.
Liliana, please. I want no more bloodshed over a personal affair.
Don't be so stubborn, Josie. How long will it take you to gather these favors in Val Royaux?
Vou dar moral pra Josefina.
Give me some time to think this over.
I'll post a watch on our ambassador in case the House of Repose visits.
I appreciate it, but I still believe elevating the two parakeets will solve this. First, we need to perform some favors in Val Royaux. I'd be happy to discuss where we could begin.
Beleza, temos as duas opções. Opcional, fale e envie os assassinos de Liliana. Fale com Josefina sobre o próximo passo. Primeiro deixa eu ir lá fazer as missões lá, entregar, né? Já que estamos nessa, essa missão aí dela. Não, vamos continuar. Eu ia entregar e pegar essas missões novas aí, mas. Apareceu uma missão nova aqui, ó. Disponível. Deixa o nosso amigo aí. Muito obrigado e muito obrigado. Apareceu um outro disponível, contrato na casa de raposa.
Inquisitor.
Contigo, minha amiga. Esse aqui eu vou deixar com ela.
At your service.
Aí depois a gente volta aqui pra fazer isso, que custa 20. Impeça a atividade dos venatórios no oeste. Isso aqui vai ajudar a deixar o nosso amigo Dória mais feliz. Calma, gente. O bom do controle já vai acabar. Daqui a pouco eu vou desfazer dele, vou pegar um novo. Esse aqui eu vou botar pra consertar. Opcional.
A situation requires your attention, Inquisitor. Noble Chantry loyalists in the city of Jadar are spreading accusations that you're responsible for the Divine's death. They're unusually organized. I recommend we send people to Jadar to deal with the matter.
Let's send some ambassadors to convince Jadar I'm not a monster in disguise.
Excellent. I believe there's much to be gained by winning them over. Yes?
Where were you raised, Josephine?
I was born in Antiva City, but when I turned 15, Mother declared I'd attend finishing school in Balroyo. But I bowled into her skirts the day I had to leave.
You must have missed her terribly.
I did. And she was most unsympathetic to my wailing. But my mother only wanted the best for me. Living in Orlais was an education in itself.
What did you learn at this finishing school in Val Royale?
Among other things, mathematics, rhetoric, poetry, history, logic, and a great deal of etiquette. I still remember Madame Beventir's switch on my knuckles when I forgot the basic tenets of Nevaran dining customs. For a dowager approaching her 80th year, she had quite the arm.
How did the younger you like Val Royale when you arrived?
Have you ever stepped into a new city and felt the buildings couldn't possibly be real? That was Val Royale to me. So beautifully foreign. I gaped at its spires for months.
You and Liliana appear to know each other.
We met... let me think. We met the last few years of my schooling, but we became friends after I became ambassador to Olay. It seems terrifyingly long ago now.
How exactly did you and Liliana reconnect in the Inquisition?
I discovered my family had been overcharging a merchant we traded with for months. Our name carries a great deal of trust in Antiva. I spent weeks arranging a string of favors as suitable recompense. Apparently satisfied, the merchant extended me an invitation to her estate. Liliana greeted me in place of the merchant.
I assume there was more to it than a strange way to say hello.
It was a test of sorts. Liliana claimed she needed someone of painful integrity for the Inquisition. I accepted, once she finally explained what it was.
Do you remain close?
Yes, but she's grown so much more distant than the outgoing woman I met in Val Royeaux. Leliana used to wander the Orlesian courts, singing the sweetest songs, charming the greatest wits. Now she collects secrets and takes risks that would make empires tremble. I worry, but she will not hear it.
Does Liliana confide in you?
If she enjoys revisiting our more disastrous adventures, Leliana used to concoct the most ridiculous plans. Run if you ever see her with a twine ball, a measuring stick, and a handkerchief.
Tell me about the Montiliers.
Well, my parents are alive and in good health. They live in our estate in Antiva City. Of my 4 siblings, most attend to the running of the family vineyards. That reminds me, I must ask someone to make sure Yvette attends the spring reception at the palace. My youngest sister has no head for social engagements.
Why are you overseeing your siblings' social lives?
It's Antivan custom. After a certain age, the heir apparent runs the family's estate to prove they're worthy of succession. If you're unfit for the task, the heads of the house, usually one's parents, may decree a new heir.
I imagine there must be give and take between a family heir and their parents.
There is a fair amount of arbitration. Bickering, if one is less polite. But managing the estate is my duty. As much work as it is, I will not shirk it.
Is running your family's estate that important to you?
I'm responsible for their welfare. A Montilier never shuns their familial duty. Taxing, as those duties can sometimes be.
Maybe your siblings could help lighten your burden.
You don't know them. But Lorien in charge, or Antoine, or Yvette? No, truly. It must be me.
Let's speak later.
Goodbye.
Beleza. Já respondemos o questionário. Envia essa opcional. Uma fortuna um tanto decadente. A missão acabou. Mas temos a questão opcional, né? Vamos ver o seguinte. Opcional. Envie assassinos de Liliana. Fale com Josefine sobre o próximo passo. Volte para a Fortaleza do Céu e fale com Josefine. É melhor enviar os assassinos de Liliana. Vou falar aqui. Onde é que está a Liliana? Acho que ela está aqui, ó.
Our agents have encountered more followers of Corypheus, the so-called Venatori. Their leader, Calpurnia, has them searching elven ruins. For what, I do not know. I propose we stop the Venatori before they find what they seek.
I'm pleased to see my spy master is on top of the matter.
I try. These Venatori have been shadowing a merchant called Vicinius on Calpurnia's orders. They've investigated his finances, surveyed his warehouses. I propose that you meet with Vicinius. Flatter him. Find out what he knows of Calpurnia.
If flattery doesn't work, I'll try something stronger.
As bards say, begin with the sweetest verse. Vicinius could be a most helpful friend. I'll make arrangements for you to visit his summer home in Val Royeaux. Hopefully, your attention should be enough to pique his interest. We'll have Calpurnia's secrets yet.
Uhum.
Reports of fate rifts and demons keep coming. The people are terrified, and it's only getting worse. The only thing that will calm their fears now is the hope that someone out there can save them. You have to be that someone. No one else has any power over the rifts. Seal them. Your legend will spread, and Thedas will learn to trust the Inquisition.
I'll leave you to your work.
It seems Blackwold knows nothing about the disappearance of the Grey Wardens. It's a disappointment. I am, however, glad that he is with us, even if he was not what I expected. He seems to be a good man, and his experience will be an asset to the Inquisition. As for the other Wardens, I suppose we will have to keep looking.
The Divine's death hit you hard. How have you been feeling?
Oh, you are referring to my outburst in the Haven. I am much better now. She was a good friend, and it will take time to get used to her absence. But thank you for asking. It is appreciated.
They called you the left hand of the Divine.
That they did? What of it?
I could use the left hand of the Divine at my side out there.
Every agent out in the world is my eyes, my ears, my blade. Wherever my people are, I am also. Coming with you, leaving my post, would blind and bound me. Do you see?
We'll talk more later.
Uma fortuna um tanto decadente. Ué, como é que eu vou enviar então? Ah, deve ser na missão. Ah, tá assim, ó. Opcional. Envie os assassinos de Liliana. Deve ser na missão aqui, ó. Quer ver, ó? Deve ser aqui, na mesa de guerra, né? Contrato, ó. Destruindo o contrato. Foi o que eu... já enviei. Foi o que eu fiz. Então tá tudo certo.
At your service.
E aqui. Então agora eu já posso fazer isso aqui, já que é uma coisa venatória, eu vou fazer isso aqui logo. Ah, pronto, já enviei eles. Isso é bom que eu não preciso ir. Ah, não, preciso sim. Nova área desbloqueada. Reunir meu grupo. Então vamos fazer um pouquinho de ação agora. A gente faz essa missão. Quando a gente voltar, a gente conversa com eles sobre a situação desse assassino, já que a Liliane mandou a gente ir pra ilha.
Any luck charting the area?
I did what I could, Your Worship. This space has nothing but space. If there's nothing valuable here, I say let Corypheus have it.
Nada de valor, você está aqui.
Corypheus wouldn't send out his followers unless it was worth it.
I did find something for you. Old dwarven ruins on the surface. Impossible, but there you go. The Venatori are excavating them with the help of their slaves.
Whatever they want, we must beat them to it.
I just saw Venatori northwest of here. They might be a good start. I found this map on a dead one. Maybe it shows where they're headed. Good luck.
Esboço da tumba dos 4 pilares. Tá bom. Mais um lugar que foi liberado pra gente. Aí, ó. Agora temos esse daqui, ó. Desertos Sibilantes.
Word for you.
What is it?
This could help us.
Beleza, então. Vamos começar a ação. Opa, já tem até uma fissura aqui, ó. Tem 2 fissuras aqui, 3. Nessa aqui a gente já pega logo 3. Ainda pega uma pedreira. Opa, é só um ventinho. O que é isso aqui? Semente diária da Vândala. Vamos correr um pouquinho, né? Nossa, a lua tá enorme. A lua aí aqui é bonita. Eita. Oi, caralho, já, isso aqui é tudo, já.
Sand?
There, in the distance. Campfires.
Let's have a look.
Derrubamos. Eu sei, o pessoal deve estar falando assim, pô, não precisava matar aquele bichinho. Eu sei, gente, mas eu só fiz isso com a única intenção de dar uma curada nos meus itens. Eu vou precisar. Consegui. Ah, porque tinha uma cabana aqui, ó. Agora entendi tudo que era pra ser entendido. Opa. Peguei o item. Vou vir aqui em cima, ver a demarcação e vou fechar o vídeo por aqui. Só esses dois? Só. Caraca. Só dois. Tá bom, né? Então é isso, gente. Vou fechar o vídeo por aqui. No próximo a gente continua. Não deixe de inscrever no canal. Clicar no sininho, compartilhar o vídeo, dar aquele like e fui. Desertos Sibilantes.